Hey, so it's about time to start talking about some common squat mistakes. So what I think we're going to start off with is the butt weak. The butt weak happens a lot of times because we either have tightness in the hips because the hips don't have room to clear properly outwards. So we're looking at hip flexor tightness here, or sometimes it's because of hamstring tightness here, and the ability to have shortened hamstrings here so we're not able to fully get out in flexion. So I'm going to use this as a bottom point so we can take a look at what would happen if my butt were rounding. This would be the bottom of my squat position if you're starting to see some rounding through there in the low back. And as you can see, I no longer have good spine position. So we really want to try to prioritize good spine position. Here we can see from the front, the reason for this particular example is because my knees are tracking straight forward. I no longer have room in this little hip capsule here to open up and allow my hips to maintain an upright posture. So the cue that we really want is to create space for the hips to travel so that I no longer have to change my upper body angle in order to move my lower body. So we want to start to put hands here and feel this cue of creating space for the hips. And that's all in relation to the knees. So if we can get knees outwards and hips properly open, you should see the butt go away almost entirely. This is something I'm still working on to some degree, but what you really want to be able to see is that instead of tracking knees directly forward, whatever your position is, if your feet are wider, if they're more narrow, we really want those knees to go outwards so that we now have room for hips to travel. So there's a few ways to easily diagnose this. Can I get my head outwards comfortably without hitting any range of motion stops on both sides? And do I have hamstring flexibility enough, at least where I can probably touch the ground in different circumstances? So here's a few things starting from kind of beginner all the way up to more advanced that you can use to start opening up those hips in different circumstances. Number one, we'll drop down into a deep lunge position. So we'll have one foot straight out in front, and I'll show this from the side at least so we can take a look. We want to prioritize knee directly over ankle here, and foot back in line, and upper body is what you prioritize. You should feel the tension along the front side of the rear leg here. You want to hold this for about 2 minutes or so, pushing across. If this is relatively comfortable for you, we can start to elevate the front foot to get more stretch. So I've chosen a box here. We'll get the foot up on the box now, and we'll go through the exact same stretch. So we should see even more flexion here in trying to get this. This is close to splits training. So if you can see me and imagine me with my foot out in front of me, we should be in the front splits. Last one, if this is okay for you. We'll get up into a full cow stretch with that foot back. Front foot out. And we'll try to hold this and get into a cow stretch. The last variation of that will be to kind of bang something in front and add some extra tension. You can check Kelly Starr's videos for that. Okay, here's the next set of exercises for hip opening. One, attach a band around some fixed object. Here I've got this post. Next, let's hop inside it. You want to position it just under your glutes. Step back, drop down to a full position here. Prioritize keeping those feet straight forward, and from here, I can push my knees outwards. And you can hang on here for a good 3 to 5 minutes or so. You can add a few more variations. Come up and down through the motion. Grab low on the post, get hamstring stretch. Good. And lastly, the band hip opener that you've seen me talk about before. So the banded hip opener, you wrap the band around low back, hook it around each knee, and pump yourself up against the wall. That one's featured in my adventure warm-up video. So, a combination of all these will help you out. And here's the test. Let me adjust the camera angle here. So you want to start to use progressively lower objects and see, can I get depth and have no angle? You can record yourself to see this. So am I good? Good, good, good. Okay. So if I'm good at this level, I want to try to choose something slightly lower. And of course, no one's going to be able to get all the way with their butt to the floor without getting any kind of wink. It's impossible. So, depending on how tall you are, depending on how long your knee segments are, you want to try to recover some kind of form here where I can keep this prioritized without having any kind of round. And that should help. Let me know if you guys have any questions.